Hello everybody, myself Sarbishta Shah. Today I am going to teach you standard 10th subject SS chapter number 2, that is cultural heritage of India. In chapter 1 we have already learned what is culture, what is heritage and about our vast country so called India. In chapter number 2 we will learn about cultural heritage of India. According to the title, the cultural heritage is of two types. Number one is genetic heritage and the second one is materialistic heritage. Genetic heritage, the word is suggesting that it is we are derived it from our ancestors, or we can say that it is passing from one generation to another generation. And in genetic generation heritage, we are mostly considering physical inheritance and mental abilities. Physical inheritance, you can understand that we can see with our eyes, and mental, that we cannot see but we can feel it by our heart or mind. Now in second is materialistic general heritage. In this heritage we are having all the properties such as house, land, palaces that we can see. And the materialistic heritage is intellectual skill. It consists of education, trade, farming, law, entertainment, arts and handicraft. Again I am repeating my statement. In material heritage we are considering all the intellectual skills. Intellectual skills means that are related to our mind, and in that intellectual skills we are considering, or we are studying, or we are going to get knowledge about education, trade, farming, law, entertainment, arts and handicrafts. Also music, also dance. In lesson number 2 we are going to study vastly about arts and handicrafts, music and dance. As I am again showing that overall there are 64 arts. Keep this number in your mind. There are 64 arts or 64 handicrafts famous all over India. So keep this number in mind as one-liner answer, as objective answer. It is also called art of artisans. Artisans means the person who is performing the art with his own intellectual or mental skill. Again I am repeating my word. Artisan is a person who is performing that art with his own skill or mental ability. Now in our lesson we are having so many artworks. Now we will consider one by one all, and I will teach you all the important facts of different arts. Number 1, I am taking clay artwork. Clay artwork is done by clay or with the help of earth, or we can say MUD, mud. As we all knowing that mud is important from cradle to grave. We all are taking birth and we all are dying, and after death our dead body is completely given to, or you can say buried in earth. So we can say our life starts with mud and it ends with mud. At present we are using metallic instruments, utensils, or whatsoever we can say daily use materials. But from the olden time mud was very important. Mud was only used to make utensils, mud was used to make toys, mud was used to make idols and statues, even mud was used to make houses, and even mud was used to plaster the walls. So we can say from the first day of the civilization mud was very important part of our life. And we are also having good proofs from olden cities like Harappa, Lothal and Mohenjo-daro. Again I am keeping speaking my sentence. Keep these three olden cities name in your mind. That's olden cities so called Harappa, Lothal and Mohenjo-daro are famous for their clay art work. Second art is weaving art. Weaving art, it is woven by hands, and in weaving we mostly cotton threads were used, and this cotton threads were used to make threads. Then later on that threads were woven together and clothes was made, Gandhiji also put stress upon cottage industry, and his main idea of khadi came from weaving art only. Indirectly, we can say that weaving art has only given independence to our Indian people, and it gives a great idea to respected Gandhiji. So I can say that mostly woven arts are woven by hands, and in that mostly threads are used. In that time, Dhaka, which is now capital of Bangladesh, which is now considered as our neighboring country, its city Dhaka was famous for muslin. Muslin is a very soft and light cloth which was very costly, but it was found in Dhaka, and Dhaka in olden days, it was a part of our country. And later on, by weaving arts, all the different areas people were making carpets, and they were also knitting different types of clothes also. Again, I am saying, with the help of that woven threads, the carpets were made, or the different types of clothes were woven. So I will give you few names of special cities or areas where the particular art were famous, weaving art areas. For example, Patola from Patan, Kanjivaram sari from South India, Banarsi sari, Bandhani sari from Rajasthan. In weaving art, we were having so many. Today also we are seeing that so many saris are famous in India, that all are hand woven saris. They are very costly also, and they are very world famous also. Third, our art is embroidery art. In embroidery art, important gems or threads were used to make design on different types of clothes. Sometimes idols and statues were also decorated with the help of embroidery, and this proofs we are getting from our old cities. Again, I am giving two old city names, that is Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. And this embroidery is famous from state to state. In Kashmir, it is called Kasab. Again, I am repeating my word. Keep this word in mind. In Kashmir, the embroidery is called Kasab, Kasab. In Rajasthan, it is called Bandhani. In Jaipur, it is called Bandhani. In Bhuj, Mandvi, it is called Bandhani. So keep in mind these all particular words. Then, with the help of embroidery, mostly Kutch people or Rajasthani people are making torans, chakdas, pillow cover, bed sheet, shak, todalia, kedu, shawl, and quilt. Now we can see that this embroidery art, still today we are always having this type of embroidery. It is fascinating us, and we can see embroidery items in handloom markets or in Khadi Gramodyog markets. Fourth number art is leather work. This leather work is famous from the olden time only. In olden time, dead animal skin were used to make different items such as masak, kaus, dholak, drum, tabla, bellows, footwear, belts. Again, I am repeating my word. Skin of dead animals were used to make masak, kaus, dholak, drum, tabla, bellows, footwear, and belts. In this art, Rajasthan's Modri is very famous, and also purses, saj, palan, whip, and lagam for carts. Lagam specially used to control elephants and horses. Fifth type of art is diamond and bead work. In this art, the most precious stone diamond was embedded on, or it was completely attached, or with the help of embroidery it was completely used to decorate the jewelry, used to decorate the clothes of royal people. As we all know that in India we are having 7,517 kilometer coastline, and we are getting these all costly diamonds or costly gems or costly stones or costly beads from this coastline only. So we can say that diamond or beadwork is inherited naturally by God to our people. So beads and gems and diamonds are only widely used, and they are available also. Due to their availability all around the sea areas, people living near that area, they were completely expert in diamond and beadwork, and that only enhanced this art throughout the India and throughout the world. And world famous Kohinoor and Mughal throne, they are best example of diamond and beadwork. Diamonds like rubies, topaz were used to beautify the thrones and crowns and jewelries. Now we come to sixth art, that is jari work. Jari means very minute. So in this, golden or silver threads were used to weave costly clothes or attires for the royal people, or we can say kings. And Surat is prominent city for this, and mostly in jari works, different types of saris, shawls, panetar and gharchola are woven with the help of golden and silver threads. Again I am repeating, keep in mind Surat is a prominent place for jari work, and jari work is done by most costly threads, so called gold and silver. 7 number art is metal work. As the word is suggesting, in this, metallic or different types of metals were used to make utensils also, to make toys and to make different equipments of daily use. And Lothal is famous. From that, there we get all the different proofs that people were making different types of metals. And Lothal people, again I am speaking this, keep in mind that people of Lothal, they were perfect artisans in making all types of metallic equipments. And in Lothal, people were used to made sickle, drill, needle, and they used to make all these types of with the help of copper and bronze. They also made idols, utensils, pots, arms with iron, metal, and they used to prepare ornaments with silver and gold. Now we completed our 7 arts. We came to 8th, that is wooden art. Wooden art was basically done only for fire. You can see that we are using only wood for fire, but our old people, or we can say our ancestors, have kept this wood as a piece of art, and they used to carve the wood in idols, in different types of equipment that we daily in life uses. Later, wood is used for making toys, pillars, weapons, windows, doors, and wooden furniture was carved very nicely with particular designs, with particular equipments. And at present, we can say 2 places in Gujarat are very famous for wooden arts. Number 1 is Idar and the second one is Sankheda. Again, I am repeating my words. 2 areas are very famous for wooden art. Number 1 is Idar and second is Sankheda. Now we came to the 9th art, that is inlay art. Inlay art means precious stones were completely kept, or we can say attached to the different clothes, or we can say jewelries were made by laying or by keeping or pasting the particular important gems or costly stones. For example, diamond, pearl, ruby. And keep in mind, Bikaner city of Rajasthan. Bikaner city of Rajasthan is very famous for inlay art. And 10th art we came, that is Akik. Akik actually is very important or costly, colorful, shining stone, and it is transparent and it is available in different colors. And this stone was used to make garland, because before making the garlands, the artisan used to give these different types of colored stones, different shapes according to their need or according to their design, and that then all stones were kept together and they were used to make full one garland. And for this, Ranpur and Surat are very famous and well known areas for Akik. Now we came to 11th, that is painting. We came to our next art, that is painting. Actually, it is an expressive art. In this art, lines and colors were used by the olden people, and at present also painting is very good expressive art through which we can see the ideas of different types of artisans or different types of arts. In this painting art, mostly we can see the proofs from the city of Harappa, and we can see cave paintings all over India. We have already seen the cave paintings of Bhimbetka, that is in Madhya Pradesh. Keep this name in your mind. You have to keep this name Bhimbetka, that is in Madhya Pradesh, and it is very famous painting and it is world famous. This is called cave. Now second is Ajanta and Ellora caves. They are in Maharashtra. They are also world famous. Now they are made by stones. They are made by carving stones, but they all few caves are having paintings inside them. Now mostly sketches of swastik, Pichu, Ganesh or any idol or deity, that is God, they are considering very important. Their picture they used to paint on the walls and they used to then worship it. Rangoli, which is now important part of decoration of houses in South Indian people houses, that is also one of the main item of painting. Now we came to the next, that is fine arts. That is 12th art, that is fine art. In fine, its name is given fine art. Fine art means they are really fine and they are giving shine to our life. They are making our life they are making our life better in terms of happiness, in terms of creation and everything else. So we can say that fine arts are of two types. Number one is music and number two is dance. In music, we can say that we have already learned in last lesson that there are 4 Vedas, out of them one Samveda, completely related to music. In Samveda, it is shown, it is depicted that how to sing songs for God in different musics. In Samveda, 7 vowels are taught about music, and this music is of two kinds. Number one is classical music and second music is folk. And in music, in Indian people were mostly taught 5 ragas, and these 5 ragas are only today part of main music stream. And there are 3 books written about music. Number one is Sangeet Ratnakar, second one is Sangeet Makarand, and third one is Sangeet Parijat. Keep these 3 books in your mind: Sangeet Ratnakar, Sangeet Makarand, Sangeet Parijat. And from medieval period, we can say 2-3 characters are also very famous in music. Number one is Amir Khusro. Amir Khusro was called Tutiye-Hind. Tuti means parrot. Parrot is considering a bird which is speaking very sweet, in very sweet manner, in very sweet voice. So Amir Khusro, who belonged to medieval time, was called Tutiye-Hind. Tutiye-Hind means melodious character of Indian culture. Second is Kabir, then Tulsidas, Miraji, Narsi Mehta, Beju Bawra, Tansen. I am speaking all these names because in objective question or in objective part you may have to answer about these characters. Now second part of fine arts we came, that is dance. Dance is also are of 2 types. Actually dance, the word Nrit means dance, and Nrit actually is related to dance of Shiva. Natraj, Shiva, Lord Shiva's another name is Natraj, and Lord Shiva is called Natraj because he is always performing Nat. Nat means to show expression by doing different actions. So Shiva was famous for his Tandav dance and he was called Natraj in Sanskrit. So we can say that dance is derived from the word Natraj, that is Lord Shiva's name. This dance is again of 2 types. This dance of 3 types, but 2 are very important. Number 1 is traditional dance, number 2 is folk dance, and number C is dramatic dances. Now in traditional dance we are having different types of dances in different states. For example, in North India we are having Kathak, in South India Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, Manipuri, Odissi, and these all are called traditional dances. They are famous in different states. Now we came to second part of dance, that is folk dance. Folk dance are different from state by state. Being Gujarati, we can say folk dance of Gujarat is Garba and Ras. And folk dances are performed on different festivals, different special occasions, or different cultural events. The third is not so prominent, but you have to keep in mind, that is dramatic art. In dramatic art, especially, all the artists were performing dramas, skits with dances, with music, to show to the people what is going in the society and what is need to perform as a good citizen. And in this lesson, you keep all in your mind the different dances of Gujarat. It is given in page number 15 and 16. Again, I am saying thoroughly learn all the dances of Gujarat, that is given on page number 15 and 16, because they are mostly coming in short note. Now in homework you have to do, or you can write these answers also, you can learn by heart also for your final exams or for your different exams. Number 1 is study all 8 arts properly. I am again saying study all 8 to 10 arts properly. Second question is write about 3 music books. Write about 3 music books. Third question is write about all classical dances of India. Write about all classical dances of India. Fourth question is write about all the dances of Gujarat. Again I am speaking, this answer you will get on page number 15 and 16 of textbooks. And being a Gujarat state citizen, please remember these all dances of Gujarat. It will be fruitful for you this exam also, as well as throughout life also. Thank you for listening me, and subscribe me and view me as much as possible. And if you are having any query, kindly call me. I will be there. Bye. See you.